Okay, let's go this way.
Paige Ulrey and Errol's routine involves regular walks down these halls.
He's called a courthouse dog.
Good boy, come on.
And frequent rides in the elevator so they can arrive here.
That's it, there's Emily. There she is.
At the courthouse where this canine has an office, one he shares with Paige.
We just deal with trauma and pain on a daily basis in this office, and there's so much need for comfort.
That's why Errol came on board 7 years ago. And one of his first assignments was working with Amy Friedheim.
I look at this wall and I feel all of my victims saying, keep fighting these crimes.
In her office, the wall serves as a constant reminder.
Speeding driver, hit and run driver. Yep, a lot of impaired drivers. And of course, Lindsay was killed, and those are her beautiful sons.
Her oldest, Malachi, was 13 when he saw the aftermath of a car crash. Police said his mom's boyfriend, Robert Jackson, was intoxicated behind the wheel. Malachi's mom was in the passenger seat. Albany Burns worked with Amy on the case.
It was key that he be able to testify. And, you know, we're running through our, what can we do? How can we get there? What if he won't? What sort of, you know, strategies if this little boy will never open up and talk to us? Because he wouldn't speak to us.
They say he was too traumatized to talk, and that's where Errol came in.
It just made him really comfortable and feel safe.
That was especially important because the defendant waived counsel.
It meant that Malachi was going to be questioned on the witness stand by this man who had killed his mother.
On the day of the trial, he showed up in a suit.
Errol walked up on the witness stand and then turned around and sat facing out, right between Malachi's legs.
Malachi was able to testify and Jackson was convicted. More recently, Albany called on the canine to help in another case.
Less than $150 in a total. It was a robbery turned murder.
State of Washington versus Davion Royalston, an Ohio man accused of shooting and killing a motel clerk in SeaTac.
Which is Brent Oroncio, an American war hero, essentially an Army veteran, a Ranger.
Brent was a very good man. Served multiple deployments. Iraq, Afghanistan, Kosovo.
His widow, Tammy Oroncio, says he was also a dad. Sons Zebediah and Gabriel were ages 5 and 10 when it happened.
We're talking 4.5 years till we finally got to trial to get justice.
The family, who moved out of state, had to fly back to Washington for the sentencing, and Errol was there, ready to help. They spent time with the dog, drew portraits, and sat beside him in the courtroom.
To where a dog is able to make a child who lost his dad to murder feel like something in this world is okay. And to me, that's huge. While he's sitting there facing a murderer, that's huge.
Just added that layer of just help for this family to get through this process.
He gives really traumatized people the strength to do another really kind of traumatizing thing when they are required to come in and talk about one of the worst events that happened in their life.
When someone's upset, he will go over to them and just rest his head on their knee or put his head on their foot and just sit with them and just be calm, and that has an amazing impact on people.
She says he brings comfort to the courthouse, a place where he's trained to help in so many ways.
Errol, get?
In Seattle, Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.